I told the crowd about 3 years ago or so that no matter what happened to me or to my life and my life's work, I would record it. So if I if I succeeded, you would see it play out on camera. And if I failed, you would see it play out on camera because it's a gift to be able to live a human life. I'm going to drop the heat. And bring my coffee closer. Shout out to the Get Down Coffee this morning in Minnesota and my coffee sponsor Terra Paolo Studio for this morning's Java and Love in My Cup. You are loved and lovable by me, and so are the people over at the Get Down. Love is where I came from, and love is where I will return. I am but an alien here, apparently, because I keep trying to get people to be interested in simple yet big acts of love, acceptance, and bridge building. And they seem to not want to partner with a loved and lovable creature like myself because I'm not smiling and nodding in agreement about the things that are not right. I'm not smiling and nodding in agreement when I know that there's more that can be done. I'm not going along just to get along. I'm asking in clear needs. Yesterday we talked about how you can go to lovedandlovable.org. lovedandlovable.org/emotions and start to thumb through the pages. It's very interactive. You can just turn the pages and thumb on the interactive website. And you can have a conversation with me if you'd like about your uncomfortable emotions. Even with me. We can have an adult conversation about what makes you uncomfortable with me. And then we're going to have to talk about what makes you comfortable with me. Then we can talk about what makes you uncomfortable with yourself emotionally. Then we can talk about what makes you comfortable with yourself emotionally. Then we can talk about the uncomfortable elements of the community. Remember, I'm from a corporate environment and it scares people sometimes, even being in a relationship with me, where in corporate by now, we would have done a SWOT analysis. I came to teach this morning. We would have done a SWOT analysis, SWOT. We would have looked at the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats of any kind of partnership or situation. I'm going to teach it this morning, Tara. Somebody's got to teach it. As it relates to your life and the things you do, it's solar plexus chakra day here. The affirmation here, and it has been this way for a year now, the affirmation every Tuesday is I do. I do. I do know what it takes to build large teams. The team that I managed before I got furloughed in the pandemic, which was a blessing because I hated that fucking job. And lots of you hate your fucking jobs too. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good night. But I managed a team of like 25 people all over the planet. A budget of $2.5 million in marketing and ad buy. So to watch people who do less come from me is crazy. But on my team, when we opened a project or we're embarking on something new, we sat down as adults, and did a SWOT analysis. And in columns, we would place the strengths of a partnership or collaboration or project, the weaknesses of that collaboration project, the opportunities to be lifted in said project, and any threats. And you really have to have a analytical worldview on all of those things in order for things to come into harmony and to work. And you can't just solely focus on the threats or solely focus on the weaknesses. You've also got to see the strengths and opportunities. And you can do a SWOT analysis, and I encourage you to do a SWOT analysis, but do a full holistic one on any area of your life or any endeavor you seek. Any relationship. Some of us should be doing SWOT analysis on our spouses. What are the strengths in our relationships with our spouses? What are the weaknesses in our relationships with our loved ones and our spouses? Where are there opportunities for us to show up and do better? And then what are the threats? Like, what are the things that can really sink the battleship and make things uncomfortable and annoying? Because y'all annoy me. It should not be this hard to do love. It should not be this hard to come together. It should not be this hard to call for ceasefire. It should not be this hard to stand for what is right. It should not be. I just refuse to abide the nonsense on this Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. This is my living will and testament that y'all are ridiculous with the games y'all play with all of these people being in suffering, including yourself. When the preacher on Sunday morning, they call her an apostle. I asked her to her face and asked the community what I should esteem her as. I came into the text messages and I said, my honorific is doctor. Y'all, I only answer to Dr. Flo. That's my honorific. It was given to me. So I call myself Dr. Flo. What is the honorific that I should give to the person in charge here? And I was told as I was leaving to go to another arrangement for Love in Action Network that she had no honorific, that she was just cool with being a person of the people, and that there was no pastor, elder, nothing of the sort, whatever. I then find out later that the apostle is being defamed by me. And I said, oh, here we go. I'll tell y'all like I told her. A love revival is trying to break out in the earth, and we're the only ones standing in the way. If we did a strengths, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis on our relationships and our dreams, we would see everything that we need to see, including the strengths and opportunities of each and every last one of us. You have strengths and you have opportunities. Don't let them silence you. Don't let them block you. Don't let them pretend that they come in the name of love. But the moment that you start to require something of them, even as a stranger, they shut you down. She will be number one on my suppression list. Because nothing says suppression like being blocked. My mindful message card this morning, and thank y'all for joining over on YouTube and Facebook. If you've tuned in as you homeschool your kids and all of these things that happen as people tune in, just know that I'm a real one. I've been sent by love as an alien here to the earth. There's enough food and money and buildings and electricity and things to provide for everybody. We are the ones that stand in the way of the love. And I'm a real one like that. I will tell you to your fucking face, loved and lovable, that you are holding the resources for me to do what I know is possible here. And a love revival will overtake the land, even if you and your food bird box is standing in my way. Don't rebuke me on Facebook for any of my energy when you have a food bird box and I'm trying to feed thousands of people here. We are not the same. Now, I'm going to try to do what this card tells me and remain present. But we are not the same here. And you can watch this back in replay and you can clip this all you want. $ Dr. Flow Funds, because I don't forget my Cash App. Y'all want to do right today? By a black man and honor me in my kingdom? Dr. Flow Funds. $ Dr. Flow Funds. I'm not pretending to forget my Cash App on my global mission. I know what my Cash App is. It's scrolling on the screen so that people can help me. 1 second. I need props in here. And hair and makeup is out. I'm talking about turning this into food for people tonight. Well, why haven't you done it yet, Dr. Flo? You talk about it. Why haven't you done it yet? Because it takes an infrastructure of security and support to do what I'm doing. I can't be doing it all. And I'm supposed to have friends somewhere. Don't we have friends? Well, actually, we probably don't, because the stats say that average Americans don't feel like they have any friends. Average Americans feel lonely and like they have nobody to talk to about their problems. They wanted me to show up to their prayer breakfast so I could hear their problems. The music and food I'm seeking to bring will solve the problems. Lentils have a scientific soothing effect. Lentils have minerals and nutrients in them that calm the central nervous system. They're also really, really affordable and really, really hearty. Y'all send me the money if you want me to do it. The only thing missing in this town is a third space with 4 walls, electricity, a clean pot for me to piss in, and time. I do not want to open a mission in my house for all the reasons that you don't want to. Where should I put the lentils? If my budget increases, I can do lentils and potatoes. Lentils and potatoes. And of course, because I should have fun too, and this is the issue actually, folks. And we're gonna talk about it this morning. I've been only here for 13 minutes. I'm good. If I wanted to show up and volunteer to pick trash up out of the yard, fine. If I wanted to show up and pick trash up out of the neighborhood, fine. The issue is that I'm showing up, I'm saying that I want to show up with lentils to feed the people, and I want to provide them while they eat with a Dr. Flo show. Now, I don't know who doesn't like dinner and a movie. I don't know who doesn't like dinner and worship. I don't know who doesn't like to be entertained while they eat. But that's the problem. I was told by the only open and affirming church in town that I would be able to do whatever I want as long as it wasn't to my personal benefit. And I think that shit is so weird that I'm supposed to help to encourage, equip, and empower the community and serve them food, but I'm not allowed to feel joy in it personally at all. And this ushers in a new day for light workers everywhere. And I stand as a champion for this for light workers everywhere. You do not need to be decreased or diminished in any way to raise your light. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. There's no requirement to decrease or diminish yourself and your self-esteem to be accepted enough to help people. That is a bold lie, mostly done to people who wear the soul clothing that is melanated like mine. But you don't need, you may get further by appearing as nice. But nice only got my time wasted. Because people who are hugging you and putting Olympic gold medals on you in their sermons in church, but then block you less than a day later, are insincere prophets and apostles. Because if you act out with me, I'll block you too. But with receipts, I don't block that fast. What did I do to be blocked by these good people? What did I do to be ignored by these good people? I'm going to read her post that went up immediately after she blocked me and give you a little further insight into the situation. After she blocked me this morning, the apostle and prophet called to social justice, rehabilitation, and love. Right after she blocked me, 20 minutes later, she and her people blocked me, including a very, very rude white lady who hugged me at church, and she gave me a gold star champion Olympic medal. This lady did. And then she didn't like what I said about my experience and kind of some of the energies I felt. And so then I became a person on her shit list as well. Anyway, this prophet says, and y'all can make up your own minds about whether she's real or not. I don't care about that type of shit. But she said, I used to rush to defend myself from accusations. Now I sit back and see who speaks up for me because they know the truth. It's called true friends and those who are hard to come by these days. And those are hard to come by these days. Glad to know I have a few. You know who you are. I no longer have any cares to give about what others say or think of me. I live for an audience of one. What others say about me is none of my business. I'm about my Father's business only. Love God, love people, love your neighbor as yourself. Guard your heart from all wickedness, chaos, confusion, and distractions. Be focused on the Father's business. I'm going to take this line by line this morning because I don't think anybody's going to stop me. I used to rush to defend myself from accusations. Now I sit back. Some things have to be defended. When people say that they feel a certain way about you, or they get a certain vibe from you, or they whatever, like, you don't have to care, but you sit back and not care speaks about you. Also, sitting back and wondering who's going to come to defend you, as Heather did yesterday, Loved and Lovable, is wild, because friends that speak up against other people without all the facts, that's just foolishness. I have a few friends too, but for different reasons. But I understand what it's like to have a few friends. That's okay. And why not name these friends like Tara and Poppy Wada and StarlightMysticBotanica.com and Caden? Why not name and Angie? Why not name your friends? Why sub in public post? You can go to lovedandlovable.org and click on our links and see everyone who staffs this community for Love Daily. People who are accountable to this mission and the work. They're not you know who you are's. They have names and they're on the org chart. So I just name the people who defend me because they have names and they know that I'm here for an electric plug, 4 walls and a roof, a pot to piss in, and quality time. I no longer have any cares to give about what others say or think of me. This is a Christian. This is a Christian who no longer has any cares to give. She lives for an audience of one. I assume that's God. I assume she's not talking about herself here. But I saw enough to know, and there was an 1.5-hour sermon that said it's definitely living for an audience of one. And it's I don't think it's God. I think it's her. But I'm mad about it though because I know the brain chemistry of the situation. And as you know, I'm reading right now how God changes your brain. I told her to her face behind the scene that God and me are one. So when she says I live for an audience of one and then proceeds to sing and preach at people for 2 hours uninterrupted, I'm like, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. What others say about me is none of my business. She clearly won't care about this post, but also blocked me. So, you know, that's probably a lie. And about the father's business only, sure. They're right. I didn't hang around long enough to figure out what was going on. So I don't really know what their father's business is. And I couldn't see it if I tried because I've been blocked. So if that's true that they're about the father's business, I never experienced it. And I've been blocked, so I cannot experience whatever their father's business is anymore. She goes on to say, love God, love people. I think I did lead this by saying I'm an alien here, but I am convinced that I am a person and a child of God. Blocked, though. And love your neighbor as yourself. I don't know how far her neighborhood extends, but I'm literally like 6 minutes drive away from that place. And I don't feel the love today. Guard your heart from all wickedness, chaos, confusion, and distractions. I will. She ends by saying, be focused on the Father's business. I'm going to attempt to figure out what that Father's business is, and most importantly, who that business includes and excludes. I see you, Tara, over on YouTube. I got comments on YouTube now. Great. In this present moment, I have nothing to worry about. I take life step by step as I follow my desires and intuition, joyfully overcoming any bumps along the way. When I live like this, I don't have to worry about the future. This is one of my favorite cards to pull from the deck because, and remember y'all, pulling a card from a deck is no different than pulling a scripture randomly out of the Bible. Y'all are professionals at this. Y'all act like plucking a card from the deck ain't the same as plucking, oh, wait for it, I'm about to pluck it. I'm about to pluck it. Y'all act like plucking a card ain't the same as plucking Luke 4:18. Luke 4:18. It applies to you, boo-boo, the same way that it applies to me. I hope this live gets back to you on the blocked side of life, where I quote, just like I plucked this card about being present and joyfully overcoming. This is one of my favorite cards to pull in this deck, Starlight Mystic Botanica.com. Starlight Mystic Botanica.com. Hardest. That card goes hard. Joyfully overcoming. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to sulk about white people that push me out of their spaces. That's global concern. White people that push me out of their spaces is a global concern. It ain't special to me. But the gentleman in the shop this morning that knew her from Lowe's in town said that she behaves this way and that she says things that I can say, like Luke 4:18, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. I'm going to go to the King James Version because it always sounds a little more, where's the good old king? The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, the recovering of sight to the blind, and to set at liberty them that are bruised. I'll read it one more time for the real ones who don't block me. I looked up in the text messages from yesterday. All this happened over the weekend, and many times she told me in text messages that they were real and that she was real. How real is being blocked and disregarded? How real is that? When Luke 4:18 says that the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, and he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. That includes my microphone and my songs. Y'all are weird, telling me that I can have a mission and build it, but I can't benefit at all. When your pastors pass me and wave in line at the soup kitchen. I was going to her church and she just waved at me at the soup line at her church. Different white lady, not even the same one. Y'all are annoying. He hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. Oh, and I don't sub people. This is Dana Hamilton over at House of Freedom and Elizabeth Horton at First Reformed United Church of Christ. I don't sub people. I told you who my friends are and who my team is. Tara, Poppy, Caden, Starlight. And the white ladies that block me are Elizabeth Horton at First Reformed United Church of Christ. And the one who literally blocked me today, cock block for Jesus, is Dana Hamilton of House of Freedom. I don't block, I don't sub. I do not block, I do not sub, because these take 20 minutes to prepare, and I'm always in good enough voice for a 2-hour show. Always. Always. These will always take 20 minutes to make, and I will always be in good voice for a 2-hour show, or worship experience, or whatever makes you sleep well at night. Because the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. And that Spirit has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. And that Spirit has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to people who are captive, mostly in their minds, recovering of sight to the blind, especially those who don't have vision to see in spirit and in truth, and to set liberty and liberation to those that are bruised by life itself. You're not going to make me feel like I don't have what I have. And you got what you got. Let us move into the chakras. This is why they ask me if I meditate. The lady in the grocery store, the manager, before she started hugging me and realizing that I smelled good and gave great hugs too, she called me across the store an angry black man. I said, I'm not angry. I'm from Broadway and I'm passionate. She been hugging me and giving me love squeezes ever since. Y'all think I have an anger issue. I'm passionate about love and art making. I told her last text, I said, give me times that you want to talk about starting the mission and I will avail. Thank you. I said something else. It's in the receipts. Oh, Facebook is making me log in. Old password. I'm not doing this right now. Oh, maybe. Hold on. Ooh. It's saying the Mac is not plugged in. What am I missing here? What am I missing? Anyway, last thing I said was I'll avail myself. This is my job. This is what I do as a community advocate. I'm available. And then after saying I was available, I got blocked. The receipts don't matter. People gonna do what they do. Today we gather to talk about, let me check the time. Oh, I've only been going for a half hour. Today we gather to talk about the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra is all about your confidence and your perception of control and also your energetic wellness. Once again, I'm not an angry black person all the time. I'm just very, very passionate about like the lentils being served to the people and also producing really, really strong arts programming here. It's not a secret that all the arts organizations are in competition with each other and they can't stand each other. And all the churches here are also in competition with each other and can't stand each other. And so because of that reason, nothing heals energetically and nothing moves forward. That's not a me problem, that's a them kind of problem, because I'll eventually find the space. And it will attract people from miles and miles away because it's going to be better than all the mediocre shit y'all produce. And I speak that way because my solar plexus chakra is really awesome. I know what I'm in control of. I know what I'm not in control of, including you all who block me. And my confidence is like peak. And Tara and I have actually been talking about this. I'm going to dovetail for a second. We work here. It does not look conventional. But I did want to dovetail over into something that I looked up the other day. And hopefully it allows me to talk about this. Yeah, we talk about you all when you're not around. And by you all, I'm talking about the global whole of humans who should be operating from wholeness. There are a couple things that will keep you from being confident. It will keep you from saying ceasefire. It will keep you from opening your church doors to me. This lady blocking me and many other people who block my energy and my loved and lovable energy, which is really authentic. Like they claimed that I like hugged them and smiled at them faking. I don't fake smiles and hugs with people. That would be weird. That sounds like weird. And the fact that that was even introduced into the conversation tells me a little bit more about them. But I don't smile and hug anybody. I wish all of you, with your smells and your coffin and stuff, I wish everybody would just stay 6 feet away from me. So I was not smiling and hugging you. You walked up to me and you opened your arms and I felt like you needed a hug, so I embraced you. And that's why you cried on me. but I wasn't smiling. And this happened to me on Broadway. There's a woman who I'm not going to... No, Nicole Vanessa Ortiz. She has this crazy story that I came backstage in an off-Broadway. It wasn't even actually Broadway. It was off-Broadway. She has this crazy concocted story that she told people about me coming backstage to the dressing rooms and standing by the cake with a sad face like nobody was talking to me and I needed a hug. And she's told this to so many industry people about me, that she's been so kind to me because I was standing back by the cake alone and I was looking sad. And I told y'all this. I was not standing by the cake because I was sad. I was standing by the cake because it's cake. And it was a pick-me vibe in the room. Sunday had a pick-me vibe as well. I don't do pick-me very well because I don't need to be picked, because I know who I am and what I can do. I do need open doors, but that doesn't require a pick-me vibe. That's like, yo, do you want to do this? Not a pick-me. Yo, are you ready to do this? But no, ladies, white ladies, I was not in any way smiling and hugging y'all to be a fraud to you. I smile at people that smile at me, and I hug people that want hugs because I'm called to love. But don't flip it when you start acting weird. You have a confidence problem. Here are the 20 common things that can decrease a person's confidence on Solar Plexus Chakra Day. Tara and I were talking about this the other day. If we don't heal this within our community and heal this at large, we're fucked. And that's just my spiritual language about it. As above, so below. If we don't heal these 20 common things that decreases a person's confidence, to say like, yo, that's a birdhouse of canned goods. You are in here talking about going to Kenya, and you don't care about my black ass at all. You blocked me this morning, and you talking about going to Kenya. I'm gonna warn those black people. I gotta figure out who you talking to in Kenya and tell them, don't let her come to Kenya, yo. She'll talk to you one day and then she'll block you on Facebook the next. Do not let her in Kenya. I'm gonna call Kenya myself. Kenya! It's one of your distant relatives. Don't let her in there. She'll block you a day later. I'm gonna call Kenya. I'm gonna call Kenya. They will not have deliverance, Tara. We cannot go to Kenya, and we cannot put lentils in the people's mouths, and we cannot love our team and our volunteers and love in action and real loves. We can't do any of that work. We can't call for ceasefire. We cannot open our doors to people. We cannot be not scared of black people. They are very scared of black people, child. I'm like, yo, I'm just a sexy motherfucker with a beard who's having church people take their clothes off in front of their partners after wings, after church. Thank you, my love. I made it myself. They would like for me to thank God for my beard growing. But I just don't know how that works. I don't know how God grew my beard. I don't know how God brushes my teeth. Which should happen at some point today. I just work remote, so sometimes it just happens before Poppy. Loved and lovable. We won't heal anything or heal anybody until we take care of these 20 common things that decreases a person's confidence. I can't get into all of them. I'll go down the list as quickly as I can, okay? Remember, we taught some things today. We taught about the SWOT analysis for all relationships and engagements. We talked about being present. We talked about the white supremacist nature of society near and far. And now we're talking about the 20 common things that can decrease a person's confidence on solar plexus chakra day. And solar plexus chakra, you know where that is. That's like in the part of your body where the butterflies live when you're about to do something that makes your dream come true. And that can be destabilized on you if you have negative self-talk, if you engage in comparison, if you feel like a failure, if you feel rejected or rejection, if there's a lack of support, if you operate under perfectionism, if you engage in bullying and harassment, if you have body image issues, if you believe in imposter syndrome, if you are critical, if you have unrealistic expectations, if you lack the skills or knowledge, if you are micromanaging people, there was some of that there. I can't really speak on it, but I'm a student of people of many decades, and there was something micromanaging going on at that church, constantly being monitored or controlled in a way that undermines autonomy. No one stood on the pulpit but her. When I say that nobody stood on the pulpit but her, I mean nobody. Nobody read a scripture. Nobody sang a song. Nobody. Nobody, 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 nobody. Nobody but Jesus was on that pulpit with her. Stagnation will also cause you to lack confidence. Public speaking anxiety. Saw some of that. Financial problems will cause you to lack confidence if that's a thing for you. I'll come back for that. Toxic relationships, unresolved trauma, and a lack of recognition. Those are the 20 things that will decrease a person's confidence. And if you are not fine-tuned or if you don't feel equipped to overcome, if you don't have a plan to overcome those top 20 things that decreases your confidence, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a plan of how you're going to decrease your negative self-talk, if you don't have a plan for not bullying others or yourself. Remember, I only bully the people that are spiritual bullies. I only bully people that bully me. I don't wake up in the morning trying to make anybody's day rough. I want to know from her why she blocked me and called it wickedness, chaos, confusion, and distraction. That's all. I'm just asking a calm question. What was wicked? I want to know what love is, and I want you to show me. What was wicked? What was chaotic? What was confusion? And what was distraction? As it pertains to Dr. Flo and his loved and lovable mission, and ask for access to resources. Body image issues of any type will fuck you. Unrealistic expectations, including mine, that Christians would do what Christ did. I told that lady when I met her online, I said, I'm only about what Jesus said and did. Anything extra, I don't remember ever in scripture Jesus saying, come to my breakfast at church or else. Can anybody reference that? Tara, could you go into your Bible? I don't even think Tara has a Bible. Could you go online and just Google and see if Jesus ever mandated that people come to their church breakfasts? Where in Luke? Where in Matthew? Listen, where in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? The Gospels, right? I went to Bible school. Some of y'all need to crack the Bible that y'all claim to be into. Y'all really need to crack it for real. and come into some understanding. Where in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, we call them the synoptic gospels, where in the synoptic gospels, I struggle here also because I have education. And they think I'm a fast talker and pulling a fast one because I'm just educated. But where in the synoptic gospels did Jesus say, come to my church breakfast or I will punish you and disconnect? And when I tell these people that I don't really consider myself a Christian because I don't want to be attached. She considers herself a Christian. They consider themselves to be Christians. I don't want to be attached to that. So I don't really call myself a Christian these days. I'm mostly like a Buddhist and interfaith. And wanting to see all faith communities come together for common good and love and the lentils and the rejoicing through amazing theatrical productions that I know I can lead because you've seen me do it. Could be a lack of skills and knowledge that's causing you to lack confidence. Could be stagnation, feeling stuck or not making progress in personal or professional development. There are things that I could tell you about this lady that was shared in private and also publicly in her sermons that would let you know that there is stagnation. And I just saw it and didn't say much about it beyond bringing solutions to bring water to the desert. So if you got any of these 20 things in your life, that could be the reason why your solar plexus is shut down. We use the color of yellow to bring clarity, manifestation, and creative energies to us. We affirm I do. I do seek electricity, 4 walls and a roof, a pot to piss in, and quality time in community. I do. I do walk into places with my head held high. I do bring my cameras. I do stick on a schedule, and I do leave when it's over. I do care about my time. I do love and approve of myself. I do the work of calling out to call in. If you're like Snacks and you have a pet rock familia, you can use Tiger's Eye, Citrine, Yellow Jasper, Septarian in order to focus on, what you want to do. Remember, this stuff is all integrated and connected. People can, that post that she went after she blocked me, and I talked to some of her former co-workers in town, not defaming her, but just trying to get some facts straight. All this is connected in that on Sunday in our root chakra, we ground ourselves in our I am. So I know, like she said in her post, I know who I am as well. Then on Mondays, we move up into our sacral chakra. That's all to do with how we feel, where our feelings are. And so we get in touch with how we feel, how I feel about being blocked by these Christians who say that they are open to everybody. They are not open to me. So it's a bit of a lie. But they feel some type of way, and that's fine. And then after you figure out how you feel, then you start concentrating on what you do. And that's tied into the root of who you are. And what people do will tell you who they are. I am a I am a former member of the cult of Christ that they're in. And that's why I'm offensive. On Tuesdays, we focus on the upper abdomen and stomach. If there's a feeling in there of unsettled energy, it could start to make you feel like a pessimist. Like, I know that there's space and opportunity for me still in that town. I'm just turning over the sea biscuits. I'm just looking under the sea biscuits. If you don't feel good in your solar plexus chakra, you'll be insecure about yourself and your material needs. However, there's great news today, and there's always going to be good news, because when you are aligned in yourself and aligned with yourself, and when you're not duplicitous, oh my God, I'm so grateful for last year in the spring when I was on a walk and the Spirit set me free from being duplicitous in my nature. One day, I'm just walking, and the Spirit or myself or whatever was like, you know what? It would really serve you to not be duplicitous. What do I mean when I say duplicitous? Let's look it up. It's a big word. Duplicitous. Deceitful. Double-minded, split in parts. And a lot of us that come from church spaces have had to do that. We can't say fuck it because the church people would not like it. So you make a life where you say fuck it to your friends and private, but you say, gosh darn it, with the church people. Y'all not gonna make me work like that. I'm a descendant of slaves. Y'all not gonna make me work like that. That's a job, and y'all don't pay. And I was offering to do it for free anyway. But when you're aligned and not duplicitous, you'll be confident. You'll be optimistic about your future and the future of others. I'm very optimistic about that lady's future, even still, if she gets out of her own way. But she's really high on her own supply, and does not let anybody on the stage. I'm going to tune in next week because I think this will get back to her. One gentleman who is the son of the lady who challenged me online, Heather, he did raise his hand to speak, but he had to speak from the congregation. He couldn't get up on the stage. There was no microphone to be had or shared. Just telling you about what I saw. I'm not defaming anybody. I don't really care like that. I just really wanted like a place to host some daily programming to elevate the people. I'm still looking. Helen at lovedandlovable.org. Helen at lovedandlovable.org. Also, Tara, because I love... she's not even here, I don't think. Oh. Well, I'll tell her later about a major change happening in the network. But she doesn't have to go teach. And I'm like an hour behind. When you're grounded in your solar plexus chakra, you will be confident, optimistic, in your wholeness, accepting, and very calm. And you will always be able to come back to that calm and touch that calm. It will always be near you. It will never be far from you. It will always be present to you. People don't believe it. I do get angry and upset about the nonsensical nature of life and the nonsensical nature of people and the ways in which people just poo-poo their own visions and dreams, or the ways in which they won't partner with me even to help them. I have a list in my mind of like 20 ways in which I can actively help this lady who blocked me this morning. This is like the 5th time this has happened in town. They want me to tone down and calm down and come differently to them. And I'm like, yo, y'all are rejecting me based on something that you've not spoken. And I got a list of 20 ways that I personally could increase you. They don't want to be increased. They want to feel like somebody. Right? Feel it. But some of y'all have dioceses. She ain't got none. That's why she doesn't call herself a church. That's why all of her minions are telling me it's not a church, it's a worship center, and they're spinning all of these words. They spin those words intentionally because churches, like these churches, who ignore me as well, they actually have bosses. This lady doesn't have a boss because they tell me to not call her anything honorific, but when it came out yesterday in the chat, she was an apostle. And Starlight from the Pentecostal church and tradition knows about these people. You do not talk shit about the apostle. So yesterday when that came out, because I asked at church on Sunday, I said, I asked her in Facebook Messenger what honorific I should give to her. Because she wants to be honored, right? The honorific that people, when Caden answers the phone, when I call him out of the blue sometimes, which I apologize for, he says, "What's up, Dr. Flo?" Honorifics. So I asked what she should be called, and nobody could give me a clean answer. Okay, that's a red flag. And then later on, when it came down, she was the apostle. Here we go. Here we go. And that's why I got blocked. And these people, let's be very, very clear. These people are somewhere with no power praying something about me. And that is a special kind of hell on earth. And also, I got people who will light return to sender spells and take care of all of that. Wickedness. How about we just return to sender? How about we just say, everything you wish over me, may it be back to you 10,000 fold on earth as it is in heaven. To learn more about our work here in Love in Action Network, it is a global organization for global concerns, doing our small little part, 59 minutes and 26 seconds. That was it. I could have done it in 15. I could have done it in 15. Want to learn more about the work that we do here and our partnerships, those we are seeking to partner with and those who are suppressing us actively through ignorance and beyond. If they ignore me, and I have documented evidence that they've ignored me, they will go on a suppression list until they no longer suppress me. You'll be able to find that suppression list in addition to our opportunities to connect remote and also opportunities to audition and to get your emotions right over at lovedandlovable.org. There's going to be new automations installed very soon and things coming that's going to help us to navigate the foot traffic of people that I know. I know these folks want to sing. I know these people want to dance. I know that all humans want to be happy, healthy, and free from all suffering. Maybe she didn't like the fact that I showed up in the Rhonda wig. But I told her that I would. And the reason why I showed up in the Rhonda wig, and the reason why I always will show up in the Rhonda wig, is because Angie told me, Dr. Flo, every day is Halloween. Most of these people are wearing masks. So if you get to be the apostle pretending to be a nobody, I definitely get to wear Rhonda. Especially at church. If there's any place that a person should be able to cry and wear their red wig, the color of Jesus' words, it should be in church. And after a person comes to your church wearing their red wig, seeking support to build bigger ministries and bigger partnerships, don't block the guy in the red wig. He's simply wearing a mask like you. Stay loved and lovable. I'll see you around. Lovedandlovable.org for real love from real people. Maybe perhaps serve